I don't know what our intro is. The baby refuses to write one for me. I know.
Turn on the stream tonight. Short stories in the spotlight. Writers bring their best to light. The story central time. Breaking down the plot. Characters at fault. Twist and hit the spot. It's all you live tonight. Are you ready for some stories? In a live stream glory. It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Catch the suspense unfold. Feel the tales being told. Critiques fair and bold. The truth will soon be known. Dollars from far and wide. Mysteries you can't hide. Every twist takes the story right. By these rules we abide. Are you ready for some stories? In a live stream glory. It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Breaking down the plots.
Breaking down the plots is me, your host, Tom Sherman, joined as always by your co-host, Greg the Reader Peterson. So
Hey!
what's happening? What's happening out here, folks? How are you doing today, good sir?
Doing well. A lot of good stories to get to.
A lot of good stories, a lot of good stuff from a great prompt. Let's just hop right into it. I'm actually trying to pull up all the good stuff right now because why not? So anyways, here's what we're doing. Welcome to Clash of the Pencils live stream, the only full contact creative writing esports league in the existence itself, notwithstanding existence we don't actually know about. I'm Tom Sherman, joined as always by Greg the Reader Peterson, and we're here to analyze those stories of the day. So every day, the internet at large submits a handwritten one-page story based off a prompt that we reveal at the end of our live stream. The public at large then votes for the top 3 that have been selected by our algorithm, Storybot 3000, and then we unveil the winner at the end of each show. So what does it take to get to the finals? That is a great question. I'm going to answer with a slideshow because you know what? I'd say they don't, right?
Lid the kid just cut you off, but I think what you're saying is the character's plot and setting, Tom. You got to write. At this point, though, let's be honest. If you submit a story, there's a pretty good chance it's going to make the top 3.
It's true. It is true. Oh my gosh. It is true. Hey, Lid the kid in the control room. All right. Yes, it is true. The character's plot and setting are those 3 things. Here's the prompt for the day. A rare artifact goes missing from a local museum, and all the evidence points to an unsolvable case. A group of kids, convinced they can crack it, sneaks into the museum after hours to uncover hidden clues and expose the real thief. Wow, that prompt almost seems like a story in and of itself.
Right. Just run that through Storyflex. I think you'll come up with something pretty good. I'm interested to see what the clues are, how they crack it. What's the group like? Why are these kids motivated to this vigilante justice? It seems like they're breaking some laws by sneaking into the museum. And I also question the security of the museum. If kids can just sneak in there, I think the thief could also probably be sneaking in there.
Yeah, it really does make you wonder what the museum is, how the kids got in there, why it's fallen to them to solve the case. So only one way to figure out how exactly that occurs, and that's just start watching these movies. First one here coming in from Mr. Whiskers.
Late at night in the Toronto Art Gallery, 3 boys sneak in. John, Jaden, and Joseph, dressed in black and armed with pepper spray, go to the gallery where the painting was stolen. They heard from their dad, a police officer, about a $13 million painting that had been stolen. All evidence pointed to the museum hiding it and reporting it stolen for the insurance money, but they couldn't get a warrant to search for the painting. Their dad thought it perfect that they go and investigate, as they were known notoriously as the 3 JJJ bandits. "Come on, I think I see a light on," said Joseph. "That could be where the painting is." "Shh, be quiet. There still could be someone there," ordered John. "Follow me." The three soon made their way to the room, and inside they heard talking. "Hey, Miguel, it's crazy that we got away with this, huh?" "Shut up, Oscar. You never know what mics these cops put." Click. Jaden stopped the voice recording. They all got snuffed out by Miguel and Pedro. Oscar, who heard them.
All right, so
Wow.
the 3 JJJ bandits at it again, solving the case of the stolen painting that cops believe was an inside job from the art gallery itself for the insurance money. Their dad, a police officer, thinks it's a perfect idea to unleash the Triple J bandits. Obviously, illegal search and seizure not a problem in Canada. However, Jaden, unfortunately, manning the microphone, slips up and clicks it off right as the thieves are talking about surreptitiously being microphoned or recorded. And so the boys get found out, and not so good.
Not so good. It just sort of ended. It just sort of ended.
You know, it sounds like the thievery turned into a murder. You know,
Snuffed out. The candles get snuffed out, right?
Yeah. Snuffed out doesn't sound good. Yeah, that's a fact.
So I like that we get set up with a little bit of intrigue. So there's some misdirection in the insurance scam. Like, they weren't sure. The police weren't sure if they had just hidden the painting back in like the deep storage and claimed it for the insurance money, which I would imagine if this was a priceless piece of art, there's no upper bound to what the insurance payoff would be for this. Right. I'm also interested in the 3 JJJ bandits. If they were known as this and their father was a police officer, why did the father condone such a nickname for his child and then think it's a good idea for them to go investigate? I want more backstory there to clarify, but it is an interesting premise that sort of gets us sort of into the world about why the Triple J's are investigating. And then we get Miguel and Pedro, who as art thieves are still hanging around the premises of where it's unclear to me, are these museum employees who are trying to cover up the fraud? Or
I think it was an inside job and they were hiding the painting in the museum. You know what I mean? Like, where's the best place to hide in plain sight is, keep the painting in the museum itself. That's what it seemed like. And so they have a back secret room where they're hiding the priceless artifact and discussing, what they're going to do with it, I guess.
And then they're aware that the cops put microphones everywhere. And the JJJ bandits are basically proxy cops.
Yeah, it was great. I thought it was great because it was like it reminded me of like the Hardy Boys. You know what I mean? Like, but like a more realistic version of the Hardy Boys, where it's like, how do the Hardy Boys are always solving these, museum artifact heists and stuff like that, and not getting caught by the thieves, and and it's so I thought it was a delightful sort of twist on a classic. Kids are solving mysteries and cracking cases and being encouraged by their by their elders as well. Idea. That also, it's like a great sort of I think it's a great trope that you see a lot in movies and TV and books, is cops bending the laws to get stuff done. And I thought it was a great sort of nod to that, where the cops like, No, send in the kids. They're minors. They're the Triple J bandits.
Yeah.
You know, let them do the dirty work while, you know, I mean, and then we'll come in, clean up, solve the case.
It was not a great idea, Dad. They got snuffed out. It's like
Yeah.
it's everything works in the Hardy Boys trope, except
Yeah.
up until the point, like, is it Happy and Chet? I think it was Happy and Chet. They never got snuffed out.
No. Well, so, you know, we don't know how many times the Triple J Bandit Boys got away with it. You know what I mean? We don't have
Right.
the first 100 novels. This is just the
Right.
last one.
This is the last one, though. This is the final one.
That's it. So great stuff there from Mr. Whiskers. Next one coming in from I guess we never actually did the triangle. We'll give this a tight circle. The triples, the characters, the setting. It was a solid triangle, I think. What say you?
I'd say the plot was too sudden. I'd put the
Okay.
plot a little bit further out.
Okay, little bit more like that. Little isosceles.
Isosceles action.
Not equilateral. We are doing isosceles. This is a geometry.
It's all the disciplines here, kids. You can learn the entire curriculum just watching this.
Yeah, you'll get your GED in no time. All right, so here we go. Number 2 story of the day in from Slice. This one is called Red Alert, but it's spelled READ.
Stop reading my thoughts, Ruby roared in the lobby of the dark museum. Edgar, startled, adjusted his sunglasses while Dell leapt back into the lobby from just a few steps inside the Aztec exhibit. Don't shout while I'm in earshot, Dell said, taking off a feather earring. Not while I'm wearing these, you almost blew my head off. Edgar looked over at Dell for a minute, puzzled. Take off the glasses, Ruby and Dell yelled in unison. Edgar put the golden sunglasses in his pocket, revealing his slate-like face reflecting the light of a street lamp through a window. The trio of adventurers had entered the museum after hours to stake out and find clues about who may have stolen a rare artifact from the Aztec exhibit. It was a silver and turquoise eagle claw. The trio feared it may have an enchantment that might be dangerous if in the wrong hands. Are you going to tell us? Edgar said to Dell sometime later. Dell ignored him, and the three continued searching the corners of the grand room. Dell had craftily gained access to the museum by wearing an earring to help him pick a lock to a side door. Are you going to tell us? Edgar said to Ruby, shuffling slightly in her direction. Tell you what are you talking about? You're acting like a nerd again, Ruby said. I smell those moonflowers in your backpack, Edgar said. Can't give them up, can you? Love that confidence. So what? Ruby snapped. Who's it hurting? It makes me feel good and people like me now. It's nice not being the ugly nerd at school anymore. Who's it hurting? Tell Dell. Tell him what Tezcatlipoca is telling you. They're all dying, Dell. We caused a plague when we left Cloud City with the flowers. We have to bring them back. We can save them, but she can't give up her popularity. Before you start, Dell, you're no better. You stole the eagle claw. Ruby, his dad has it now. He's gonna thump. Kia pop.
All right, so this is a continuation of Slice's Ghost Club novel that it's turned into via one-page short stories. So Edgar, who you might recall wearing sunglasses that can read minds, is reading the other members of the Ghost Club, Ruby and Dell's mind. He pesters Ruby to confess about what we learned last time, which is these magical moonflowers that they've taken from the Golden Cloud City, have magical powers which turn them into gods, but also at the same time has caused a massive plague within that ancient and mystical city. So he's pestering her to reveal that to Dell, and meanwhile he asks Dell to reveal his secrets to Ruby. Both of them are kind of not happy at all with Edgar's piercing into their minds, but as Edgar spills all the beans of everybody's thoughts and says Ruby's causing a plague and she's not returning the flowers and Dell's not any better, he just stole this artifact that we're searching for that's going to be in the wrong hands. He gave it to his dad, and then kerpump, kerpop. Sounds like he got hit over the head by somebody or something.
Did they get snuffed out too? Is that the way we're ending this?
A lot of snuffing out, actually, it seems like.
Yeah, it's more terrifying because we don't know. It's funny that we have, so in terms of plot device or like artifacts in the world, from previous stories, we have the sunglasses that allow you to read people's minds, which kind of gives the narrator his omniscience. And then we also have the earring that allows you to communicate with your ancestors. And then we have the moonflowers that give super. So there's a lot of different artifacts that are getting superpowers. Plus this eagle talent, right? Which
Right.
we don't. Do we know what the eagle talent is doing?
No, we don't.
We just know it's a fourth magical object
Right.
entered in that we're juggling now.
Yeah.
I liked that this took place over dialogue. It was Edgar to Dell, Edgar to Ruby. You know, Edgar's the one who's pushing for the reveals here because he's wearing the magic sunglasses. We also have the repetition of, "Are you going to tell us?" Edgar said to Dell, and then he says, "Are you going to tell us again?" Edgar said to Ruby. So that repetition was really good in terms of Edgar's character development.
Mhm.
I also liked that there's a central conflict, like a moral, decision that
Mm.
Ruby's gonna have to make. It's like, we can save the Cloud City by returning the flowers, but it would cause Ruby to have to give up her popularity, that the flowers, the confidence that they're doing, and
Mhm.
Ruby doesn't want to do that. So it seems
Mhm.
like there's going to be either some moral growth or immoral growth,
Right. Right. Yeah.
one way or the other. I don't know. What do you find you hope Ruby does, Tom?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting that it was kind of great that Ruby's reacting sort of like somebody who's addicted to a drug. You know what I mean? Where they're like, "Hey, I'm popular now. Like, I'm like, don't worry about it. Like, like mind your own business." And it's like, "Whoa, Ruby, chill. Like, you think you need to? Maybe you should return those flowers."
You're hurting
Um,
everyone in Cloud City.
Yeah, I mean, your ancestors. You're the one that brought us to Cloud City. So it's definitely an interesting sort of um, how the tables have turned, and sort of how the character Ruby was initially sort of the leader and sort of stalwart of the group, and now she's like sort of become an antagonist. So I think that sort of character development was interesting. I think so. I don't know if maybe I'm just reading too far into it or not, but so all the objects you mentioned are sensory, right? Like sight for the eyes, the earrings are the ear. You've got the Tepeolotl cola, which is like taste and
Taste and physical vibrations on a
right,
geologic scale.
right. We have this claw, which seems I don't know what, but maybe touch. And then the Edgar mentions smelling the moonflowers. So here's two things: either the moonflowers are so pungent you can just smell it out of the back. You know what I mean? Like it's like,
Mhm.
hey, I can smell the moonflower. You know what I mean? You smell like a brewery. Like it's not a secret. Or it's like he's found some sort of another object to hypersensitize his olfactory senses, and now he has super smell powers that other people don't know about. So I don't know which one of those two it is, but I think it's one of the two.
It's like a Voltron of enhanced sensory.
Yeah, the Aztecs
supplementation.
had hypersensitive technology. It seems it's
Mhm.
fascinating. It's a fascinating story. I have to admit.
It's also somewhat ironic that they go to the Aztec temple within the museum, and they're also communicating with their ancestors.
Right. It's really yeah. I wonder what city it's in. This is a very
Yeah, the last one
you
was
know,
in Toronto. I had a strong
right,
Canadian bias, but this one is any town,
right. Anytown, USA. Go
Yeah,
to their museum. They have a solid Aztec
yeah.
exhibit with enchanted artifacts. It all makes sense. All right, so those were your two stories of the day. We're gonna come back. We're going to reveal the winner. We're gonna see the next prompt, check out the leaderboard, and of course view the top 5 sentences of the day. After a word from your sponsors, Tepeolotl Cola.
Un jaguar busca y busca agua clara en la montaña, bebe del manantial, pero no es como el oro. La la cola dorada que las fieras ansían. De Peyoyo cola es la que el corazón guía. La cola de oro, la cola que anhelo, no hay comparación en mi reino entero. El manantial es fresco, el agua pura brilla, pero algo le falta, de Peyoyo maravilla.
Tepe Cola, the only cola to bottle a Jaguar. It's true.
Oh, those Pepsi executives! What niche will they? What category will they conquer next?
You know, it's limitless. It really is. All right, so let's see what we got here on the next up on this thing. Is this on? Yes, it is. All right, so our next prompt: who would steal 30 bagged lunches? With only a few mysterious crumbs left behind on the bus, a student must follow the trail to solve the field trip mystery. All right, another mystery coming in hot.
It's Mystery Week, Tom.
It's Mystery Week. It must be. We've seen Crow Week before. Have we seen a Mystery Week? Only the likes of which we can find out throughout this week. So, all right. So, what do you think? What do you think? Where are we going with this?
Well, we got a classroom of 30, Tom. I think there are 30 students in that class.
Yeah.
We're on a field trip, which is left to the imagination. And then somebody's stolen the lunches, so the stakes couldn't be higher.
So the plot of the lunches stolen is fine, but yeah, we have a setting up in the air basically, and the students is as a character. So yeah, we'll see. It looks like that setting is going to be a big key to the mystery.
Big key. What field trip would be interesting?
Who knows? Maybe Slice or Mr. Whiskers. Slice taking down the winning of the day. Mr. Whiskers coming in second. So there you have it. Those are our point totals for the week. Slice on top, Whiskers in second. Now let's head on to the top 5 sentences of the day. I just have to pull up my script so I can see it, and then we'll be able to do it. Holy moly, shishkamboli. Where am I? There we go. All right. And over here, throw it up. So it was a silver and turquoise eagle claw. The trio feared it may have an enchantment that might be dangerous if in the wrong hands. All the evidence pointed to the museum hiding it and reporting it stolen for the insurance money, but they couldn't get a warrant to search for the painting. "Don't shout while I'm in earshot," Dell said, taking off a feather earring. "Not while I'm wearing these. You almost blew my head off." "Tell you what are you talking about? You're acting like a nerd again," Ruby said. "I smell those moonflowers in your backpack," Edgar said. "Can't give them up, can you?" Love that confidence. "So what? Who's it hurting? Makes me feel good, and people like me now. It's nice not being the ugly nerd at school anymore." Their dad thought it perfect that they go and investigate, as they were known notoriously as the 3 JJJ bandits.
Yeehaw!
Yeehaw! The 3 JJJ bandits right again. Again.
In the Toronto art scene.
Yeah, who knew? All right, so those were your top 5 sentences of the day. You got the prompt, you got the winner, you got the scores. There's nothing else to do. So until next time, keep those pencils sharp.
And kids, don't let your creativity get captured.
Turn on the street tonight, short stories in the spotlight. Writers bring their best to light. The Story Central time. Breaking down the plots, characters that fought, twists that hit the spot. It's all here live tonight. Are you ready for some stories in a live stream glory? It's the contest of the year. Writers have no fear. Catch the suspense unfold. Feel the tales being told. Critiques fair and bold. will soon be known. Dollars from far and wide, mysteries you can't hide. Every twist takes the door right. By these rules we abide. Are you ready for some stories?